Hello van fans, welcome to another episode of VFFs Vanlife podcast. How are you out there? Hope you're nice and cozy and snuggly warm wherever you are. It is the last week of 2020, looking forward to 2021. That's all I'm going to say. Right then, so this week I thought I would read out some of your van life confessions. If you have a van life confession you'd like to send to me, or if you have any stories or pictures, anything at all, I really love to hear from you. So you can email vffspodcast@gmail.com, or you can go to the Facebook page and send me a message there. Right then, so van life confessions. It might not be a surprise to you that most of them are disgusting and quite crude as well. So if you are easily offended, I would suggest you close your ears now. Van life confession number 1. This person has written 3 different confessions and they've labelled them Poo 1, Poo 2 and Poo 3, which is really helpful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out Poo number 2 today. I'm just going to read it as it's written. Poo number 2. Pulled over in lay-by, squatted by van, pulled down me trousers and done a massive poo. Pulled up me kecks, not realising half the poo had landed in my kecks and ended up halfway up my back. What a delightful image. So thank you very much for poo number 2. I will read number 1 and number 3 as well at some point. Okay, next confession. As I said, I'm just going to read it as it's written. Okay, confession time. Scene set. Medium snow. I'd found a unique way to write my name in yellow in the snow. I told my friend about the snowfall and he leapt out naked to, in quotes, develop himself. He ruined my signature, but I never told him. Was I so wrong? Wonderfully written. Wonderfully written. On a side note, when I replied to this person, they added, what I didn't say was it had taken nearly 4 years to perfect my signature in Scotland. I was confident that whenever I left a park up, people would know someone special and artistic had been next to them, like Jean-Paul Gaultier. I'd nailed it that evening, and name removed. Ruined my work of art. Jean-Paul Gaultier is like a fashion guy, isn't he? Hey, you know what? Maybe he's got a good signature. I don't know. Anyway, were you so wrong? No, I don't think you were. You were expressing yourself, literally. If you're going to jump out naked and roll around in the snow, you've got to take your chances. There might be some wee or some poo there. I don't think you did anything wrong, and I think you should continue to perfect your signature. Okay. Right, the next one is just beautiful. I can't explain how good this is. It is kind of horrific at the same time, though. Okay, okay, there was this one time, but admittedly, there's been quite a few times. I had my burner going, with some beef stew bubbling away. I kept on topping it up with more skip meat. Anyway, one night, all of a sudden, I need a shit really badly. It was too dark to go outside, and there was no way that I was going to make it to grab my shovel to dig a hole. So, I hate to say it, but I shat in my beef stew. Is that not the best sentence in the history of the world? I hate to say it, but I shat in my beef. So there you have it. There's some beautiful van life confessions for this week. Again, as I said, if you have any confessions, please do email me at vffspodcast@gmail.com. If it's poo related, that's fine, but it would be nice to know any other stories that you might have. In fact, I did remember I had quite another really good van life poo confession myself. So this summer, obviously, it was an anxious time for obvious reasons. And I had developed, I suppose you could call it a health concern, which was that whenever I got really nervous or anxious, I would suddenly need the toilet. So when I bought my van, I bought it sight unseen, so it was quite nerve-wracking. And when the day came that they were going to deliver my van, me and my boyfriend walked down to the railway station where they were going to meet us. Now, on the way down, I was getting so nervous. I still didn't know if this van even existed. So I was getting so nervous and so anxious. And all of a sudden, I really needed the toilet. Now, this was in lockdown. You know, there was no public toilets or anything like that. Oh my God, I was saying to Pavel, my boyfriend, I was like, what am I going to do? Oh my God, I literally, I need a shit. And we were walking down an alleyway and I was like, can I do it here? And it was like, no, this, like, people can see the alleyway. It was getting to the point where it was going to come out. We got down to the railway station and there was like a little grassy hill which was right off the road, and I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to have to go up there. So I climbed up this hill, pulled my trousers down and went to the toilet, praying that a car wouldn't drive past, and especially praying that my van wouldn't drive past with the driver. The first time we see each other, I'm just squatted by the side of the road. It was so embarrassing. I was so ashamed. Luckily, I happened to have some tissue in my pocket, thank God. But yeah, it was a humbling experience, and luckily no one walked past and no one drove past, which was so lucky because it was literally the one road to the railway station. So yeah, that was a narrow escape. Yeah, so you know, it's all about poo here on VFFs. That is what it's becoming, to be honest. The amount of poo emails I'm getting at this point, I'm just like, do I just need to change this to like the shitcast or something? Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that anyway. I hope that you weren't eating or doing anything civilized while you listened to that. So this week's episode, it's been a month or so in the making, and I'm so delighted that the time has come now to share this with you. I'm really proud of what I did and how far I've come, because a few months ago, the thought of even driving to Scotland, I just thought, no, I can't do it. It's not possible. So I just want to say, I hope that anyone listening to this will be able to take some sort of inspiration from it, to take a longer journey, even if they feel scared to. So this is a mixture of audio diary and van life story time from a trip that I took at the end of October. I hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, here is Destination Bulgaria. Hello van fans, I have an announcement to make, so I'll go ahead and begin my little speech. I started this podcast because I wanted to conquer my fear of travelling alone in a van by connecting with people that also had done similar things. I knew that by talking to people about their travels, I would learn some interesting new things about van life and about the world in general. But what I didn't know is that, drumroll, it would lead me to begin a journey across Europe. I am going to attempt to drive 2,000 miles across France, Germany, Austria, Hungary and Romania to Bulgaria to buy a house. Bet you weren't expecting that, were you? All I've ever wanted since I was young was some land with maybe a caravan or a hut to live on. And honestly, as I've got older and the years have gone by, I've kind of given up on that dream. Living on land in the UK, I have found, is way out of my budget, ridiculously complicated, and there's so much bureaucracy surrounding it. Anyone that listened to the VFFs episode with Jodie will remember that we spoke about her house in Bulgaria. The day before I spoke to Jodie, I'd been feeling like crap. I was sick and tired of sharing a house with 4 random, never do their dishes type of people. So after our conversation, I looked into things a bit more and I was amazed by how cheap these houses actually are. So I realised that I could probably afford a small house with a decent bit of land as well. I feel like this would give me the opportunity to live the life that I want to live and to develop my own life instead of paying some landlord's mortgage for the rest of time. So that's how I got to this point. I'm actually leaving tonight. I don't know how long it's going to take or if I will make it, but the point is I'm giving it a go and I'm going to chase that dream that I forgot about and that I thought could never happen for me. The longest I've ever driven before is Plymouth to London, which is about 250 miles. I was considering maybe flying to Bulgaria, but I think if I flew to Bulgaria, I would be kind of missing the whole point of this podcast. I wanted to show people that you can do things that you thought you couldn't do, even if you're scared. So after Brexit, I won't be able to get the same rights as a resident of Bulgaria that I can get before Brexit. So I need to get there before Brexit, get my residency, and then I will have rights as a Bulgarian resident, the same as an EU citizen. So there you have it, guys. That's what I'm doing right now. Wish me luck. Plymouth, Devon, the evening before my trip. Ferryport, 1 mile from my house. Mood, regretful. Here I am on the ship. I'm just spraying all the surfaces with alcohol because honestly it doesn't look that clean in here. Oh God, what have I done? Oh.
Pour des raisons de sécurité, l'accès au garage est strictement interdit durant la traversée. Aussi, nous vous recommandons de prendre avec vous tout ce dont vous pourriez avoir besoin. Merci de votre coopération.
I am not happy with my decision right now to do this. France is going into lockdown tomorrow. Right, we've set off. It looks like we're sailing right into a storm, basically, which is a great metaphor for this trip because I'm just driving into a pandemic. So I suppose it's appropriate, really. Okay, it is 12:30 p.m. now. We're 1 hour away from France. I'm kind of ready to get in the van and start driving now. I can see France. How exciting! It looks like a little bit brighter out there. Oh my goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen, will shortly be arriving in Roscoff and we hope that you had a pleasant crossing. In order to respect physical distancing in the garage, we'll be calling on passengers to return to the vehicle based on the color code displayed on the cabin key. Thank you.
So I missed the call to my van, which was a bit embarrassing, but I'm here now. So I'm just waiting for us to be let off the ferry. So I just turned my sat-nav on. It says acquiring satellites. I'd really love it if you could acquire some satellites. Here I go. Cheers. Oh my God, here we go. Right hand side, stay on the right hand side, stay on the right hand side. Thanks for listening to this preview of VFF's Vanlife podcast. You can listen to the full episode at vffsvanlife.com/podcast. Hope you enjoy it. I've got to go outside. I've got to go